Imagine this. You're standing at the edge of a cliff, your heart pounding like thunder in your chest. Below you stretches an endless void, darkness swallowing light, silence devouring sound. Every instinct screams to step back, yet something pulls you forward, whispering that the fall might be freedom. This is anxiety, the relentless tide that crashes against the shores of your mind, leaving chaos in its wake. But here's the paradox. It isn't the anxiety itself that defines you, it's how you respond to it. And in that response lies the power to either shatter or sculpt your life. Why does one person crumble under pressure while another rises above it? Why do some let fear chain them to mediocrity while others transform it into fuel for greatness? Anxiety is universal, a shared human condition, but its weight bends us differently, shaping our choices, relationships, and destinies. It whispers lies about who you are and what you can become, yet beneath those whispers hides a deeper truth waiting to emerge if only you dare confront it. What would happen if instead of running from anxiety, you turned toward it? If instead of seeing it as an enemy, you recognized it as a teacher? Could the very thing that terrifies you hold the key to unlocking your potential? Or will you remain trapped in cycles of avoidance, surrendering pieces of yourself with each retreat? These questions aren't just philosophical, they cut straight to the core of how you live, love, and exist. Now imagine peeling back these layers, exposing the machinery behind your fears. What would you find? And more importantly, what would you do with that knowledge? Beneath the surface of your anxiety lies a labyrinth of forces, silent, unseen, yet profoundly influential. Carl Jung spoke of the shadow, the parts of ourselves we bury out of shame, fear, or denial. Anxiety often arises when this shadow knocks at the door of consciousness, demanding acknowledgement. Yet society teaches you to suppress, to wear masks of composure while your inner chaos simmers beneath. Is it any wonder that anxiety feels like an unwelcome intruder when, in truth, it is a messenger from the depths of your unacknowledged self? Friedrich Nietzsche warned of rejecting uncertainty. He saw suffering as inevitable, but also fertile ground for growth. When you resist anxiety, labeling it as weakness or failure, you reject its potential to teach resilience, courage, and self-awareness. Arthur Schopenhauer described life as a pendulum swinging between boredom and pain. Anxiety becomes both symptom and symbol, a manifestation of your struggle against existence's inherent instability. Societal forces amplify this tension. From childhood, you're conditioned to seek certainty through grades, jobs, relationships, all illusions of control in a chaotic world. Aldous Huxley called modernity a distracted society where endless noise drowns out introspection. Your brain adapts, favoring quick fixes over deep reflection, leaving you ill-equipped to navigate the storms within. And what of free will? Jean-Paul Sartre argued humans are condemned to be free, burdened by choice. Anxiety thrives here, feeding on the paradox of infinite possibilities colliding with finite resources. Each decision carries the specter of regret, paralyzing you with what-ifs. Viktor Frankl countered this by asserting meaning as the antidote to despair. But finding meaning requires confronting, not avoiding, the source of your unease. What if the root of your suffering isn't external, but internal? Before dismissing these questions, consider their implications. The way you respond to anxiety doesn't just reflect your mindset. It reveals the invisible architecture shaping your life. Understanding this architecture is the key to dismantling it. What happens when you ignore the roots of your anxiety, brushing it aside as fleeting nuisance or insurmountable foe? The consequences ripple outward, shaping not just your inner world, but the fabric of your life. Neurologically, chronic stress rewires neural circuits to prioritize survival over growth. Cortisol floods your system, creating cognitive biases that distort reality. Loss aversion makes you cling to toxic situations. Confirmation bias blinds you to opportunities for change. Culturally, Perfectionism feeds the beast. Advertisements promise happiness if only you achieve more, look better, or acquire validation through likes and followers. Yet each success feels hollow because the bar keeps rising. You chase external markers of worth, mistaking applause for fulfillment, until the gap between who you are and who you project grows so wide it threatens to swallow you whole. Philosophically, the stakes rise higher still. Arthur Schopenhauer described existence as a cycle of desire, where satisfaction brings momentary relief before new cravings emerge. Anxiety fuels this cycle, driving you to seek control over what cannot be controlled. Every attempt to suppress it reinforces its power. Viktor Frankl warned against this trap, arguing that meaning comes not from avoiding pain, but embracing it as part of life's tapestry. Societally, collective amnesia sets in. Distraction becomes a coping mechanism for individuals and communities alike. Mindless scrolling replaces mindful reflection. Busyness masks emptiness. In this fog, anxiety festers unseen, spreading its tendrils into every corner of your life. Relationships suffer, dreams erode, regrets haunt quieter moments. Each choice made from anxiety reshapes your trajectory, pulling you further from authenticity and closer to a borrowed script. But even now, there remains hope. What if breaking free begins not with eradicating anxiety, but understanding its purpose? Rebellion starts with perspective. See anxiety not as an enemy, but as a catalyst for transformation. History offers lessons from those who defied convention. Henry David Thoreau retreated to Walden Pond, stripping away distractions to discover clarity amidst solitude. His rebellion wasn't external, it was internal, refusing to accept life on terms dictated by others. What if your rebellion started similarly, not by fleeing anxiety but leaning into it, listening closely to what it reveals? Mindfulness serves as one such tool, a way to observe thoughts without judgment, allowing them to pass like clouds across the sky. Borrowing wisdom from Buddhism, impermanence becomes a guiding principle. Anxiety thrives on attachment to outcomes, identities, certainties, but non-attachment dismantles its grip. Sit quietly, breathe deeply, and watch as the storm within begins to settle. Stoicism provides another framework. Suffering arises not from events themselves, but how we interpret them. Epictetus taught that it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Reframe challenges as opportunities. View obstacles as stepping stones. Viktor Frankl embodied this philosophy in Auschwitz, finding meaning even in unimaginable suffering. Practical steps follow these shifts. Start small. Ditch habits that numb rather than nourish. Replace scrolling with journaling, creation, or movement. Set boundaries around toxic influences. Embrace vulnerability as strength. Knowing authenticity inspires connection far deeper than any mask ever could. Feel the momentum building. With each conscious choice, you dismantle fear piece by piece. Society may resist, but revolutions begin with outliers. As Jean-Paul Sartre declared, existence precedes essence. Your identity isn't fixed, it's fluid, forged through action and intention. Now, you arrive at the precipice of understanding, a place where everything converges into a single, luminous truth. Anxiety is not merely a reaction to external circumstances. It is a mirror reflecting your deepest existential yearning, the desire to belong, to matter, to transcend. What if responding to anxiety doesn't just shape your life? It reveals the essence of who you are. Viktor Frankl said, "Between stimulus and response lies a space, and within that space lies our power to choose." But here's the deeper truth. That space is infinite. Quantum mechanics hints at interconnectedness, showing particles influence each other across vast distances. Mirror neurons echo it, proving empathy isn't just emotional, but physiological. You are not alone in your struggles. You are part of an intricate web, woven from stardust and spirit. Picture this final scene. A lone figure stands on a mountaintop, bathed in golden light. Below lies the valley of shadows, fears faced, battles fought, identities shed. Ahead stretches an endless horizon, uncharted and unknown. The figure takes one last look behind, then steps forward without hesitation. There is no fear now, only awe, an overwhelming sense of unity with the cosmos. You too stand at this threshold. Will you remain tethered to old patterns, or will you leap into possibility? Let this truth haunt you, inspire you, and propel you toward action. Who will you choose to be today? Thanks for watching. Be sure to comment, like, share, and subscribe.